Hello friends, my name is Dipen and today I will going to discuss about a very important topic in the community medicine, that is concept of nutrition and macronutrients. So we will first discuss about the proximate principles of the nutrition. So first of all we will talk about the energy providing food products. So the first one is carbohydrate, that will give you 4 kilocalorie per kilogram. Second one is protein, that also give 4 kilocalorie per gram. Third one is fat, that give 9 kilocalorie per gram. Fourth one is alcohol, that gives 7 kilocalorie per gram. And last one is water, that gives 0 kilocalorie. Next one is dietary goals. Dietary goals for carbohydrate is 50 to 70%. For proteins it is 10 to 20%. And for fat it is 20 to 30%. Now we are going to talk about the definitions of some diets. The first is prudent diet. What do you mean by prudent diet? So prudent diet is a temporary diet that adheres to the dietary goals. For example, post-operative diet, renal diet, diabetic diet. The next one is balanced diet. So what do you mean by balanced diet? So balanced diet is a diet that contains all the macro and micronutrients in the required quantities to prevent any excess or deficiency. The next one is staple diet. Staple diet is a diet that is culturally acceptable and that is consumed by majority of the population. Now we talk about some different types of additives and adulteration that is most commonly done in the foods. So first thing is food adulteration. So food adulteration means any substance or product that is added to the food to decrease its nutritive value or that harms the body. For example, brick powder that is mixed with chili powder. Water is added in the milk. These are all the example of food adulteration. The next one is food additives. Any substance that is added to food that does not increase its nutritive value, but for increasing its shelf life or its consumability. That substance is known as food additives, like artificial flavors or preservatives that are added to the food to increase its shelf life. The next topic is food fortification. So food fortification is any substance that is added to food product to increase its nutritive value and that does not belong to that product initially, like addition of vitamin A and D in the oil, addition of iodine to the salt. The last topic is food enrichment. Food enrichment means any substance that is added to the food product that increases its nutritive value, but that substance already present in that food product initially in lower quantity, like iron rich biscuit. The next topic is protein indicators. So protein indicators include amino acid score, net protein utilization, protein digestibility coefficient corrected amino acid score, digestible indispensable amino acid score, protein energy ratio, and protein efficiency ratio. Now the next topic is limiting amino acids. So limiting amino acids like cereals that are deficient in threonine and lysine, like maize that is deficient in tryptophan and lysine, and pulses that are deficient in cysteine and methionine. So most of the cereal products that are commonly deficient in one amino acid, that is lysine. One important clinical correlation with that topic, that is a disease named as pellagra. Pellagra is a disease that is caused by one important vitamin deficiency, that is niacin. Corn or maize that are deficient in the tryptophan and lysine amino acids. So tryptophan is very important in the formation of niacin vitamin, and the lysine amino acid which inhibit the conversion of tryptophan to niacin. and also tryptophan is deficient in the corn or maize. So that will lead to niacin deficiency and that causes pellagra. So lysine food also causes pellagra. Next topic is fats. Fat is mainly made up of fatty acids. Fatty acids are most commonly divided into two types, that is saturated fatty acids and unsaturated fatty acids. Saturated fatty acids include lauric acid, palmitic acid and stearic acids. Unsaturated fatty acids include two types of acids. The first one is monounsaturated fatty acids, which includes oleic acid, and the second one include polyunsaturated fatty acid, which further divided into two types. The first one is omega-3 fatty acid, which include alpha-linolenic acid, and the second one include omega-6 fatty acid, which include linoleic acid. The next topic is partially hydrogenated vegetable oils, which include vanaspati ghee or dalda ghee. Partial hydrogenation leads to the solidification of the oil into the fats. Use of hydrogenation is easy storage and transport, and also it increases the shelf life of the vegetable oil. It is most commonly fortified with vitamin A and vitamin D. One important clinical correlation is phrenoderma, which is also known as toad skin, that is due to deficiency of essential fatty acids. Now the last and the most important topic is glycemic index. Glycemic index is the rate of change of the blood glucose per unit of the food consumed. According to this, the food is divided into three types: high glycemic index food, moderate glycemic index food, and low glycemic index foods. High glycemic index foods includes white breads and rice. Moderate glycemic index foods includes dairy products and brown rice, while low glycemic index foods includes natural foods and high fiber foods. So this concludes our whole discussion of concepts of nutrition and macronutrients. So if you like this video, then hit on the like button, comment on this video and subscribe to this channel to get regularly notified. Thank you.